Good morning, students. Before we start our class today, I have a special announcement to make. On 7th of October, that is tomorrow, you will have a special session, okay, that is called First Aid in Emergencies in association with the International Red Cross Society. So, then the guest speakers of the program will be Mr. Rituraj Kaushik and Mr. Mridul Sharma. Okay, so you have a special exciting session tomorrow, many things to learn about it, right? So be there in the session. So with this, we will start our class today and let's see what do we have for us. Okay, so we are going to learn today about and talk today about passive voice, right? So we have discussed already about voice. Amra voice ki amra porechi. So today we are specifically going to deal with the second type of voice, that is the passive voice, right? Okay, now let's move ahead and see what do we have for us. So just like yours, this is a classroom, right? Tomader moto eta ekta classroom and the students are sitting here. Now let's see what the teacher has to tell. Okay, go ahead and let's see. The teacher is telling, dear students, this English grammar class is taken by me. Do not ask your doubts of grammar to your maths teacher. Clear? Look at the sentence again. Look at the structure again. Dear students, this English grammar class is taken by me. Okay? Don't ask your doubts of grammar to your maths teacher. Clear? Okay, of course, if you have doubts of English, then you will ask the English teacher only, not the maths or science teacher. Okay, next, but focus, as I told you, focus on the structure. This English grammar class is taken by me. Okay, now what happens next? See, why is ma'am talking like that? What does she mean? So one of the student is thinking that why is ma'am talking like that? Ma'am কেন এরকম কথা বলছে? What does she mean? She কে ma'am কি বোঝাতে চাইছে? Okay, why is ma'am talking like that? To this, the ma'am says, I am being asked by your maths teacher. Again, note the structure of the sentence. Sentence structure টাকে খুব ভালো করে দেখো. I am being asked by your maths teacher. The teacher could already have said that your maths teacher asked me, but no, she is telling it in a way, I am being asked by your maths teacher. Okay, telling it in a roundabout manner. Okay, now the girl says, she is using different kind of sentence structure. Now it strikes upon her mind. এখন ওর মাথায় জিনিসটা আসলো যে ম্যাম একটা different sentence structure এ আজকে কথা বলছে, right? Okay, now she says, sorry ma'am, it won't be repeated again. Okay, fine. Now Rani also knows to talk like that. She is thinking, okay, ma'am, Rani can also talk like ma'am in that particular sentence structure. Right, okay. Now we'll come to the sentence structure. Now before that, let's take up the first question. Find the subject in the following sentence. Pablo Picasso created Guernica. Okay, so in the sentence which is given to you, you have to find the subject, which is the subject of the sentence. Clear? বুঝেছো কোশ্চেনটা কি? কোশ্চেনটা হচ্ছে একটা সেন্টেন্স তোমার সামনে দেওয়া আছে, পাবলো পিকাসো ক্রিয়েটেড গুয়ের্নিকা। এই সেন্টেন্সের মধ্যে সাবজেক্ট কোনটা? ওকে, সাবজেক্ট কোনটা? অপশন এ গুয়ের্নিকা, অপশন বি পাবলো, অপশন সি creator, or option D Pablo Picasso. Clear? So you got the question right? Okay, so your time starts now. Give me your responses. Okay, so your time starts and now give me your responses. Who do you think or identify the subject in the sentence? Right? Okay, go ahead and tell me. Who do you think is the subject here? Pablo Picasso created or Guernica? Who is the subject here? All right. The correct response is yes, option D, Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso is a subject and Guernica is the object, means the painting. So Pablo Picasso is the subject, right? Okay. Now let's move ahead and see what do we have. So we were talking about sentence structure, right? That ma'am is talking in a different sentence structure. Okay, so this English grammar class is taken by me. Again, I am being asked by your maths teacher. It owns these two sentences, the structure is quietly different. Me, the teacher could have said, I took the English grammar class, but she is telling it, I am being asked by your maths teacher. She could have said, your maths teacher asked me. She is telling, I am being. These sentences are in a different structure, as we can see. Now, different structure, or what is this called? Now again, look at this. I eat. See that the two birds are sitting in a branch of a tree and they are discussing something. So one of the birds says, I eat two worms for breakfast. I mean, breakfast is, দুটো worms খাই. I does the other have to say? The other says, two worms are eaten by me for breakfast. Okay, you see the meaning is same. দুটো sentences meaning is the same. The meaning of the two sentences are same. Different. For example, look at it again. What does the bird say? The first bird, two worms for breakfast. Okay, so same meaning. I eat two worms for breakfast, and the other bird says by me for breakfast. So the meaning is same, just the structure of the one another. Why? Now, why or what are they called? Okay, again we can see structure, right? So this question is coming in our mind that the meaning is same, but why is the structure different? Meaning the same, but structure different. Can now what is it then? It is voice or voice change. Okay, the change of voice of the voice change যেটাকে আমরা বলি সেটা কেন হচ্ছে সেটা and what are the two types of voice? The two types of voice are active voice sentence where we see the bird, you remember? Look at this bird. Worms for breakfast. So this is in which voice? This is active voice. I eat two worms for breakfast. And then when the bird says the two worms are eaten by me for breakfast, the same sentence, meaning same but different structure. This is understood active and passive, right? Clear? Okay. So active, I eat two worms for breakfast. Active voice, রেখে different structures এটাকে ঘুরিয়ে বলা আর কি I eat two worms for breakfast, two worms are eaten by me for breakfast. So talking about the thing in a roundabout manner. Clear? Okay, now so before moving on to our discussion, let's take up this particular question. What is the question? Let's see. Which among the following sentences is in passive voice? Okay, so which among the following sentences is in passive voice? So you have four sentences in front of you. So out of the four sentences, you have to identify which particular sentence is in passive voice. Clear? So four sentences, চারটা sentence আমার সামনে আছে, চারটা sentences এর মধ্যে কোন sentence টা passive voice এ আছে সেটা তোমাকে identify করতে হবে. I hope the question is clear to you. Okay, now so go ahead, your time starts. Go ahead and give me your responses. Which sentence out of the four sentences given to you is in passive voice, right? Okay, go ahead and give me your responses. All right, very good. Which sentence is in passive voice? Okay, now so which sentence? Yeah, option B, right? Jaya is known to Ranu. The active voice of this sentence is Ranu knows Jaya. Jaya, active voice. The passive voice is Jaya is known to Ranu. Okay, why not option C and D? Powai took his shoes. It is an active voice. My father likes badminton. Again, active voice. The passive voice would be my father likes badminton. So So that is going to be passive voice. So here the passive voice sentence is option B. Jaya is known to Ranu. Clear? Okay. Very good. Now let's go ahead and see what do we have next for us. I eat 2 worms for breakfast. I eat 2 worms for breakfast. So here the I is the subject, right? We have known eat is the verb, the action happening sentence এর মধ্যে অ্যাকশনটা হচ্ছে, তো এখানে অ্যাকশনটা হচ্ছে খাওয়া, তো eat is the verb, okay, right? 2 worms is the subject or is the object, 2 worms for, and breakfast is a complementary part, right? Okay, so when যখন আমরা এইটাকে, when we are talking about this sentence or changing this sentence into passive voice, যখন এটাকে আমরা passive voice আনছি তখন কি বলছি? 2 worms are eaten by me for breakfast. 2 worms are eaten by me for breakfast. Now, how are you going to do this? 2 worms, 2 worms টা কি এখানে? 2 worms টা এখানে হয়ে যাচ্ছে, in this particular sentence 2 worms becomes the subject. Okay, in this particular sentence 2 worms becomes the subject. Okay, eat of course the verb in the participle form, and me here becomes the object. So there is an interchange. পুরো sentence টা একটা interchange হয়ে যায়. In active to passive voice there is an interchange of this sentence. পুরো sentence টা একটা চেঞ্জ হয়ে যায়, পেছনেরটা আগে চলে আসে, আগেরটা পেছনে যায়. So that is how the sentence changes from active to passive voice, right? Okay, this is also very important from your exam point of view. You will have questions in your exam relating to voice. Change the voice, okay? The sentence might be given in active or in passive, so to figure out the voice and then change the voice. Clear? Okay, now let's move ahead and take up the third question of the day. Let's see what do we have. Okay, find out the object in the following sentence. Again, there is a sentence given to you. The sentence is television is watched by kids. So এই সেন্টেন্সটার মধ্যে object কোনটা? Clear? The 4 options are given to you: A, television; B, watched; C, kids; D, by. So out of the 4 options given to you, which suggests object? Did you understand the question? কোয়েশ্চনটা বলছে কি, টেলিভিশন ইজ ওয়াচড বাই কিডস, একটা সেন্টেন্স দেওয়া আছে, তো এই সেন্টেন্সের মধ্যে অবজেক্টটা কোনটা? which one is the object in this sentence? এই সেন্টেন্সের মধ্যে অবজেক্টটা কোনটা? টেলিভিশন কিডস বাই, টেলিভিশন ইজ ওয়াচড বাই কিডস। ক্লিয়ার? ঠিক আছে, বুঝতে পারলে? ওকে, সো your time starts and find out the object in the sentence. Television is watched by kids in this particular sentence. Clear? Okay, go ahead and tell me. Very good. Go ahead and give me your responses. Look at the sentence carefully and remembering that, give me your responses. Which one do you think is the object in this particular sentence? Right? Okay. Right. So which one is it? Yes, very good. It is option C, kids, right? Television is the verb, okay, verb happening, the action happening, and kids is the object. So option D, kids, is the correct answer, right? Okay. Now let's move forward and see what do we have next. So change of pronouns in active to passive. So just like narration, when we change from, just like in narration, direct, so a lot of pronouns change. Similar is the case with active to passive voice. When we change, for example, I changes to me, okay, we, us, you remains you, he, him, she, her, it remains it, they, them. This is very important. This is very important for solving exercises on voice change. Okay, look at it once again carefully and remember how this pronouns change from active to passive voice, right? Okay, Go ahead. Let's see what do we have next. So active to passive in present indefinite tense. So when the sentence is in present indefinite tense and we have to change it from active to passive, what are the rules, right? Let's see. So this is the sentence structure. Structure for active voice, the first one, and this is for the passive voice, the second one. This is the sentence structure. So passive, active voice is simple, subject, verb, object, right? But what about passive? Passive is subject plus be verb plus be form of the main verb, the participle form, plus by or to depending on the sentence, and then the object. Okay, so now let's look at this. The earth revolves around the sun. This is an active voice, present indefinite tense. The earth revolves around the sun. You change it into passive. The earth revolves around the sun. What will be the passive? The sun is revolved around by the earth. Okay, the sun is revolved around by the earth. Clear? So this is the present. Okay, come again. Next. I like tea. Again, present indefinite tense. I like tea. It is in, yes, it is in active voice. So make it passive. I like tea. Yes, tea is liked by me, right? Okay, so we'll come to this. Now before that, let's take up this question. Find out the V3 form of read, okay, from the following, okay? So the participle, the V3 form of the word read from the following. Clear? In front of you, read, readed, readden, read. So which option do you think is the correct option? Means which one is the V3 form of the verb read? Clear to you? Okay. So your time starts now. Give me your go ahead and give me your responses with regard to this particular question. Right? Okay. So which one out of the four options given to you is the correct V3 form of the verb read? Right. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. So which one is the correct answer? Yes, the correct answer is option A. Read, read, or read, read, as you may pronounce it. Right? Okay. Now, let's go ahead. And so we were talking about I like tea, present indefinite tense, active voice. In passive voice becomes tea is liked by me. Right? Okay, so this is how it functions. Now, active to passive in present continuous tense. So we read about present indefinite. Now, when we have to change the voice from active to passive in case of present continuous tense, how can we change it, or what is the rule? Let's see the sentence structure first. Now this is again, the first one is active, the other one is, the second one is passive, right? Subject plus be verb plus ing plus object, that is the present continuous tense, we use ing with the verb, right? So this is the structure of the active, and the passive, you see, subject plus be verb plus being. So whenever there is ing in the active voice, it becomes being, being, in the passive voice. This you have to note very carefully. Remember very careful. Whenever there is ing in active, it becomes being, being in passive. This is very important, okay? Plus V3 form of the main verb plus by or to plus object, right? Okay. So now let's look at the examples. We are cooking pulao together. We are cooking, ing. So present continuous. We are cooking pulao together. So change this sentence into, this is an active, change it into passive. How are we going to do this? We are cooking pulao together. Pulao is being. Since there is ing continuous, it will become being. Pulao is being cooked by us together. Pulao is being cooked by us together. Again, my grandfather is helping me. Ing, we have present continuous. My grandfather is helping me. So change it into passive. Yes, I am being helped by my grandfather. I am being helped by my grandfather. Clear? Okay, this is how it goes. Now, before moving forward, let's take up this question, the fifth question of the day. Let's see. Find out the passive voice sentence structure in present continuous tense from the following. So, we just read present continuous tense, right? So, in present continuous tense, what is the sentence structure for passive voice? In present continuous tense, what is the sentence structure for passive voice? You have four options in front of you. So out of these four options, which is the proper structure for passive voice in present continuous tense? That you have to find out, right? Okay, so your time starts now. Look at all the options carefully, think about the structure, and then give me your responses. Okay, chalo. Go ahead. Look at the structure one by one carefully. The options actually. Look at them carefully one by one and then give me your responses. Right? So, what is the correct passive voice structure in case of present continuous tense? Right? Okay. So, go ahead and tell me. All right. Okay, so yes, the correct option is option C, right? Subject plus be verb plus being plus V3 form of the verb plus by plus object. Why option D? Option D is quite similar to option C, but why option D is wrong? Because in option D we don't have the by or to option. We have to have a by, by or to in case of passive voice. Okay, so since it's not there, that's why option D is also wrong. So option C is the correct option. Subject plus be verb plus being, as I told you, it continuous in active voice ing gets changed to being in case of passive voice, plus V3 plus by plus object. Clear? So option D is the correct response. Now, so we did present indefinite, we did present continuous. Now let's look at present perfect. Okay, change of voice in case of present perfect. So present perfect, we have this subject. In case of active, we have subject. Then of course, since it's perfect, so we have to have has or have. Then V3 plus object. Now this has or have in case of active voice changes to has been or have been in case of passive voice. Okay, this again you have to remember, just like ing and being, this is the formula in case of present perfect tense. So has or have in present perfect tense changes to has been or have been in case of passive voice. Clear? Has, have in active voice, has or have been in case of passive voice, in case of present perfect tense. Clear? Okay. So let's look at examples so that we can understand things better. I have completed my task. I have completed my task, right? So, how are you going to change it from active to passive? We will say, my task has been completed by me. My task has been completed by me, right? Okay. Then, I have cleaned my room today. I have cleaned my room today. Okay, I have cleaned my room today. How are you going to change it? Okay, so before that, let's take up this question, then we will come to the change of voice. Find out the correct passive voice form of the given sentence. Okay, find out the correct passive voice form of the given sentence. What is the sentence? Known him for many years. I have known him for many years. So the sentence is in active voice, yes. So you have to find the correct passive voice sentence for this particular sentence given to you. I have known him for many years. So you have four options in front of you. Out of which option is the correct? Time starts now. Give me your responses. Look at each and every sentence very carefully and then find out the correct passive voice for the given sentence, right? So I have known him for many years. I have known him years. So which one is the correct passive voice for this particular sentence, right? Okay. And tell me, I have known him for many. All right. Okay. All right. Very good. So the correct passive voice is option B, right? He has been known to me for many. Has been option C and D wrong because we don't have perfect here. Have in the sentence has to be changed to has. So option C and D wrong. Option A is slightly wrong because he has been known by, should be has been known to me. That's why option B is the correct option. He has been known to me for many years. Clear to you? Okay. Now let's move ahead and we were solving one sentence. Cleaned my room today. So the passive voice for this will be my room by me today. My room has been cleaned by me today. Clear? So you got the answer? How to solve it? Okay. Now, so we did indefinite, we did continuous, we did perfect. Now we are left with present perfect continuous, right? Okay, perfect continuous. So what's the rule for changing it into active to passive? So in active we have, of course, the subject, of course, has, have. Now we also have been in active voice and the ing form of the verb and the objects. So when we have has been or have been in the active voice, it changes to has been or have been plus being. This is what you have to remember. In case of continuous, ing changes to being, being. In case of perfect, has, have changes to been. But in case of present perfect continuous, has, have been, in active voice changes to has, have been plus being, being. Clear to you? So you remember this? Okay. Now, let's look at examples, then things will be clearer. So, my sir has been managing all the files for the last 3 years. So, has been managing. So, has been managing. Okay, ing. My sir has been managing all the files for the last 3 years. Clear? This is in active voice. Make it passive. My sir has been managing all the files for the last 3 years. How are you going to write it? You are going to say, all the files have been managed by my sir for the last 3 years. So, have been being. All the files have been being managed by my sir for last 3 years. Clear? So this is how we do solve it, right? Present perfect continuous, changing from active to passive. Again, I have been taking care of my mother's plants for last 1 week. I have been taking care of my mother's plants for last 1 week. Active, change into passive. My mother's plants have been being taken care of by me for last 1 week. Okay, my mother's plants have been being taken care of by me for last 1 week. So remember the sentence structure. You will never get voice wrong. Clear? Okay. So now let's take a quick look and let's summarize. So while changing from active to passive, the meaning must stay same. So this is very important. When you are changing from active to passive in whatever tense, for breakfast today? Breakfast today. So the sentence structure is different, the meaning is same. Meaningটা কিন্তু সেম থাকতে লাগবে, মিনিং তুমি চেঞ্জ করতে পারবে না, very important. Okay, now while changing from active to passive, the verb is past participle V3 form. ঠিক আছে, past participle form এ verb থাকে. While changing from active to passive, the subject becomes object. So I told you, in changing from active to passive, there is a complete interchange of the sentence. The subject in active voice becomes the object in passive voice. The object in active voice becomes the subject in passive voice. So there is an interchange altogether happening. So that's what you have to remember. Another golden rule. Now, while changing from active to passive, the object becomes subject. I told you. So in active, the one which is the subject in active becomes the object in passive. The one which is the object in active voice becomes the subject in case of passive voice. Clear? Now, while changing from active to passive, we should carefully mind the tense. The tense is very important. Okay. So if we have ing, it means continuous tense in active voice, it becomes being, being in passive voice, right? So if we have has or have in active voice, it becomes has been or have been in passive voice. If we have has been or have been plus ing in active voice, it becomes has been being or have been being in case of passive voice. Present perfect continuous, right? Okay, so this is all about voice today. So now we have in front of us our value based question for the day. Okay, so here we have a situation, and I will explain to you this what is the situation, and then you are going to tell me how are you going to deal with this situation in case you are in this situation, right? Okay, so what's the situation? Let's see. Your friend got less marks in exam, but he is scared of his parents and lied to them saying he has secured good marks. Okay, so understand the situation. Your friend got poor marks in the exam. তোমার বন্ধু এক্সামে খুব খারাপ মার্কস পেয়েছে, but he is scared of his parents. But ওর মা বাবাকে খুব ভয় পায়. Since he is afraid of his parents, he lied to them. সে তাদেরকে মিথ্যা কথা বলে, মা বাবাকে ভয় পেয়ে সে তাদেরকে মিথ্যা কথা বলে, কি বলে যে না সে ভালো মার্কস পেয়েছে. He tells his parents, he is afraid of his parents, terrified of his parents, and he tells them, his parents, that no, he has actually secured good marks. Okay, so you as a person, you as a friend is observing all these things happening. Okay, that your friend got less marks, but he is telling his parents that he has got good marks. So how are you going to deal with this situation, or what do you think should be your approach to this particular situation? বুঝতে পেরেছো? তো তুমি as a friend তুমি দেখতে পাচ্ছো যে তোমার বন্ধু মিথ্যে কথা বলছে, কম মার্ক পেয়ে মা বাবাকে বলছে যে ভালো মার্ক পেয়েছি। তো তুমি তোমার বন্ধুকে তুমি থার্ড পার্সন হিসেবে তুমি দেখছো। তো এসব যখন তুমি দেখছো, তো তোমার কি মনে হয় তোমার এই সিচুয়েশনে কি করা উচিত? হোয়াট শুড বি ইয়োর অ্যাপ্রোচ টু দিস সিচুয়েশন? হাউ আর ইউ গোইং টু ডিল উইথ দিস সিচুয়েশন? তোমার এরকম একটা সিচুয়েশনে কি করা উচিত, রাইট? সো ইউ হ্যাভ three options in front of you. First one is encourage your friend to continue telling lies to his parents. তোমার বন্ধুকে তুমি আরো উৎসাহিত করবে যে হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে তুই মিথ্যা কথা যেরকম বলছিস সেরকমই চালিয়ে যা। ওকে, or option B, spread rumor in the school that your friend lies to his parents. So what you will do is you will defame your friend in the school, spread rumor in the school that your friend lies to his parents. Okay, so everybody will unfriend him, he will feel upset. So this is option B. Option B তে বলছে কি তুমি তোমার বন্ধুর নামে বাজে কথা গুজব ছড়িয়ে দেবে স্কুলে, যে তোমার বন্ধু মা বাবাকে মিথ্যে কথা বলে। তাতে কি হবে? তোমার বন্ধুর মন খারাপ হবে, তার সম্মান নষ্ট হবে, তাকে সবাই দিয়ে হাসাহাসি করবে, তাই তো? তো তুমি এটা করবে, নাকি অপশন সি, make your friend realize that lying is a bad habit and he should have the courage to accept the truth in front of his parents? নাকি তুমি অপশন সি তে যাবে? অপশন সি তে কি বলছে? that you will make your friend realize that lying is a bad habit. তোমার ফ্রেন্ডকে তুমি রিয়েলাইজ করাবে যে মিথ্যা কথা বলা খুব খারাপ, and he should have the courage to accept the truth in front of his parents. and মা, তুমি যতই কম মার্কস পেয়েছো না কেন, তোমার ওই মানে সাহসটা থাকা উচিত যেন তুমি মা বাবার সামনে বলতে পারো যে হ্যাঁ আমি কম মার্ক পেয়েছি। Great. So these are the three options in front of you. I have explained the options to you, explained the situation to you. So now your time starts. You tell me how are you going to deal with this, and then I will tell you what I think should be the correct approach. Right? Okay. So go ahead and tell me. Tell me, what do you think should be the proper approach to this situation? Right? Okay. Now, go ahead and tell me. Let me know your responses. Okay, fine. So I think option C is the proper way of responding or dealing with this situation. Okay, what are you going to do? You are going to tell your friend, make him understand that telling lies is a very bad habit. Okay, and whatever marks he got, he should have the honesty and the courage to accept the truth in front of his parents. Only then maybe he will be able to get rid of that guilt and will be able to perform very well in the next exam. Okay, so তুমি কি করবে? আমার মনে হয় অপশন সি টা কারেক্ট অপশন, বিকজ অপশন সি তে আমার মনে হয় তুমি কি করতে পারো, তোমার বন্ধুকে তুমি বুঝাতে পারো যে মিথ্যে কথা বলাটা খুব খারাপ। আর একবার যদি মিথ্যে কথা বলা, একটা থেকে দুটো, দুটো থেকে তিনটে, সেই মিথ্যে কথাটা কন্টিনিউ করতে থাকবে। তো মিথ্যে কথা বলাটা খুব খারাপ, সেটা তোমার বন্ধুকে তুমি রিয়েলাইজ করাতে পারো। আর বলতে পারো যে তোমার বন্ধুর সেই সাহসটা, সেই সততাটা থাকা উচিত যে সে যেন তার ভুলটা মা বাবার কাছে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে পারে, সত্যি কথাটা বলতে পারে। যদি সে সত্যি কথাটা বলে ফেলে, তাহলে হয়তো সে সামনের বার এক্সামে সত্যি ভালো মার্কস আনতে পারবে, কারণ তখন তার মনে সেই গিল্টটা থাকবে না যে মা বাবাকে মিথ্যে কথা বলেছি। তখন সে পরিষ্কার মনে এক্সাম দিয়ে নিশ্চয়ই আরো ভালো স্কোর করতে পারবে। ক্লিয়ার? সো উইথ দিস we have almost come to the fag end of our class today and to the last segment, that is the feedback part, right? So your time is on. Kindly give me your responses. Through this feedback question, you can let me know your opinion about the class today. Did you understand the class? Did you find it satisfactory, or you were happy about the class? Anything you wish to tell me, you can let that come to me through this feedback question, right? Okay. Now, so I understand your responses. So we conclude here today. Before concluding, I wish to remind you again about tomorrow's special session, okay, with the Red Cross Society, which will be dealing with in first aid in emergencies. Please be there and attend the session. All right. So thank you so much. We call it a day here. We will meet again very soon in our next class. Till then, keep reading and keep learning. Thank you.